In this video, we will show you how to replace your coolant thermostat housing on this Dodge Dakota. This will be located on the front of your engine. Let's get into it. Okay friends, let's get started on our job. The first thing we're going to do is come right over to the radiator cap. Make sure it's cool to the touch. You don't want to open this up if your vehicle is at operating temperature. Next, let's go ahead and press this down, turn it counterclockwise to remove it. As we lift it up and away from your face. Give the cap a quick inspection. Make sure the seal is still in good condition. Assuming it looks good, set that aside. Now we can make our way underneath the vehicle. It's going to be time to start draining the cooling system. You'll find on the radiator, you have the drain right along here. Go ahead and grab onto that wing nut area, turn it counterclockwise, and start draining the coolant into a collection receptacle. Now, once you've drained out as much as possible, go ahead and close that drain. Now, once the coolant's done draining, we're going to continue on to removing the thermostat housing so we can gain access to the thermostat. That's located right along the passenger side of your crank pulley. For this, you'll find that you have two 8mm headed bolts holding it in place. There's one right out in the open along the bottom. The second one is directly above it. We'll start with the harder one to get to. Now we'll make our way down to the lower bolt. Keep in mind there could still be coolant located in this area. Make sure you have your collection bucket under here to collect any of that existing coolant. Now we can break this free. Now that we have that down, let's carefully remove our thermostat from the housing. It's a good idea to at least give this a quick inspection. Commonly, people like to replace these. We'll set this aside. Now at this point, we can start taking the hose off of the thermostat housing. When we do this, we'll squeeze the clamp, slide it up the hose and off of the housing. Once you have the clamp slid away from the area, grab onto the housing, give it a little twist to break it free from the hose. If that doesn't work, you can also try using a hose pick. There it is, friends. Let's double check our hose, make sure it's still soft and pliable and it's not torn, worn, or damaged in any way. Okay friends, let's get ready to install our brand new thermostat housing. We'll slide this onto the hose. Once you have it on there, make sure it's aligned with the proper positioning. If you're unsure, go ahead and take this and put it in place on the engine. We'll rotate this as needed. Assuming that looks good, now we can slide our clamp back into place. Now once you have the clamp slid down to the proper position, it's important to make sure that you double check the positioning of the hose. You want to make sure it's completely bottomed out against the thermostat housing and it's aligned properly. Now we'll try to put the clamp back in its original position. Once you've done that, move along to cleaning and inspecting the area of the engine where the housing and thermostat mate. Now we can install our thermostat. You'll find on the gasket you have a little tab that protrudes out where my thumb is here. And if you were to look at the thermostat housing, you'll find an area that's carved out for that tab. Let's align this and slide it into place. Now we can put this up onto the engine. Start in both of your 8mm headed bolts. Once they're both started, you can snug them up and then torque them to 112 inch-pounds. Clean your mess. Now once you have this cleaned out, go ahead and make your way back up top and start filling the cooling system. Let's just double check, make sure that the coolant drain is tightened. Now it's time to start filling the cooling system. You can do this several ways. Some people just like to use a funnel in this area. If you have the specialty tool, this works a lot better. I'll apply some vacuum. Now I'll confirm that the cooling system holds vacuum. And at this point we can continue filling it with 50-50 diluted coolant. This is what the funnel would look like. You want to make sure you have your adapter that fits directly into the radiator. We'll press this down, lock it in, give it a wiggle. Add some coolant and let it burp out the air. Now once you feel as though you have all the air out of the system, with it just sitting like this, it's a good idea to start up the vehicle and let it get up to normal operating temperature. Make sure you have plenty of heat coming out of the vents, and also keep checking this area. What you'll find is commonly, air will continue making its way out of the system and coolant will make its way in. We need to continue filling this until it's at its maximum, right up along the top here. Now once you've done that, go ahead and remove the funnel. Continue on to your radiator cap. We'll slide this into position. Turn it clockwise to lock it in. Okay friends, we've got the truck back together. At this point, go ahead and start it up one more time. Double check for leaks and then take it for a road test. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.